Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here for the ICW 23. Suely is the founder of Crown Energy Coaching to assist individuals, leaders, businesses, and organizations to achieve greater conscious results and potential with purpose and sustainability. Suely's core leadership skills, paired with a holistic toolbox, is powerful, creative, and able to tackle most challenges. Personal and professional results are measurable in productivity, ROI, employee retention, better home life work balance, and increased satisfaction. Her coaching is enriched by business experience, entrepreneurship, 7 levels of energy leadership, assessment, meditation, intuition, magnified healing, Reiki master, positive intelligence, spirituality, science, and languages, Portuguese and Spanish. And now I leave it to you, Suely.
Thank you for the nice introduction and the reasons why I put the languages down. I can Nada can go ahead with French if needed. If somebody wants to ask a question and needs a word in Spanish or Portuguese, we can handle it. So if you have any questions, we have other languages present as well. You can try us. So thank you all for being here. And our time together is very limited. I may skip some slides because I'm going to try to do a presentation as much information as possible, because I feel that can trigger awareness and application in everyday life in many different with many different branches of energy leadership. So before we start, we are allowing, one more person in. I would like everybody to do something that I do all the time, and we're going to take 2 minutes of our time to take a deep breath. Join me in a quick breathing exercise. And as we are breathing, we are going to bring in all the energy through our breath. Keep in mind to clear, and renew, oxygen our bodies. And the second breath, we're going to focus in ourselves and enclose our energy within this group. So if you feel more comfortable, close your eyes. If you like to keep your feet on the ground or your back straight, be my guest. And let's take a very deep breath in. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, and release for 6, 2, 3. On the in-breath, visualize the alignment of your body, all your chakras, and your heart and your mind as you connect through the crown. And take a deep breath in. Release. Take a deep breath in slowly. Connecting all of you and all of us as one in this presentation. And when you're ready, let's do it. So, it's integrating life, work, and humanize. it's a big, big title and a lot we can do in each of our expertise to start moving the energy. What I like to do is just give you a start process of questions to start the integration. It can be done to each individual, it can be done to a team leader, to a CEO, so it applies everywhere when we are coaching. So when the questions and the answers are going that we are listening to, think of the mental, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the cultural, and the social environment issues that may be presenting itself. So each one of those categories, they are called influencers in a way that it really starts activating your inner and your outer journey of discovery. So I will go and place again all these influencers and share a slide and then get out of the slide and talk a little bit more. But remember, if you have a question, raise your hand. If you can wait, then we'll go a little further. If not, I'll take the question because I think that the group is important. Hi, Misha, didn't see you sneak in. You look beautiful. Hi. So some of the questions that start bringing that to life is, what do you separate your life from who you are at work? What do you feel you have to surrender, if anything, at work? What values are important that you are giving up when you are at work? What is at work that separates you from who you are? Which category does it feel? It might be mental, it might be physical, it might be emotional, it might be spiritual, it might be cultural, it might be social, or it might be environmental. So you're getting the line of questionings because when these answers come, you'll be able to start pinning and pointing where the disconnect appears or the lack of integration. So what work values are part of yours or part of your life? What if anything, with the event of a hybrid of people working from home, what would you, if having to go back to the office scenario, what would you wish or what you could have to make that more comfortable? Is it lighting? Is it a chair? Is it a break, a space, a desk? What makes you comfortable and uncomfortable at work? So having this line of questions allow the team leader, even leaders, HR, and individuals to begin to understand what works and what does not work in your life. So let's see how I'm going to do it. I'm going to begin to share my slides. And like I said, if I skip some, it's because of the time. But everybody's, can have access to that. Let me see here. I'm going to open this. Okay, bear with me. I'll get it. Oops, this is it.
Are you sharing your screen?
Not yet. It just didn't come up for some reason. I thought I was. Oh, and let me try it again. That was on PDF. Maybe I should just go back to the Google Slides. Let's see here. Bear with me a second. Here we go. Now let's try that again. And oops. That's, oh, here we go. So can everybody see that? And forgive me, I'm not the best tech around here.
We can see everything. Maybe you can put it in a presentation mode. Oh, it's okay. We can see everything.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. So looking at the integration, we also look at the separation. A little bit about separation. It was really something that was created, programmed, and was a behavior that was imposed in the workplace. And it actually really ignored the basic human needs. Do you remember, or at least I remember when I started working, and I'm from my jobs, and I grew up in New York, the first thing they told me at work, when you come in, hang up your coat, hang up your hat, and leave your worries and anything that has to do with your life outside of the office. So I believe that a lot of this separation developed the accumulation of, I'm going to say for a better word, neglect of the human needs. And that I just don't want to use so many words, but it was in a sense a disregard, if not a neglect, of areas that part of what makes us humans is necessary. So if you look at the 7 Ds, the disconnect, this accumulation created disconnect, discomfort, distress, dissatisfaction, discontent, disease, detachment, and everything is interweaved within our lives. So these stresses were kind of released because they are not released from the corporation's aspect, from business, because since the gig economy, since the beginning of 2008, there was a lot of dissatisfaction with people at work, lack of, time off, lack of ability over time, and all the things that we know are existent, to the point that it became a gig economy. And from a gig economy, the pandemic provided an organic unity of the dissatisfactions of the socioeconomic and also of the personal needs, and added another level of awareness, a new dimension, a new realization. And so life post-pandemic became a circle of uncertainties. So, like I said, the human body doesn't have an on-off switch. Not yet. But we do have the capability of using our human capacity and energy to change things. So if you take one thing that I say about everything I will, it's very important that we do have the capability of really changing the energy in which we are holding, in which we present ourselves, and what we attract. So Sometimes we focus everything in a given area, but don't cultivate the areas that are less traveled. So I dare to put that a lot of the issues may be spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, cultural, social, environmental, and the order changes. There is no specific order. The important thing is to cultivate a new perspective. Explore what that missing link or whatever you haven't realized it is within you, or whatever the issue at a corporate level may be. For example, how many of us ever get asked if we are feeling or experience spiritual stress? What is spiritual stress? It might be if you had a situation in life, or you lose work, or lose your faith, and that is causing you stress. What if it's mental? Oh my goodness, we have tons of examples what can be mental stress. But it can be inability to focus at a given task. It can be a technical inability that is causing the stress on a project, or many other things. How about emotional stress? And here I'm going to put what my training is, which is in energy. Motion is the energy within the motion, and motion is energy. Is it physical? Is it cultural? Is it social? Is it environmental? Now, with each influencer, there is many aspects that can repeat itself. If it's physical, the physical may be causing the mental. The physical may be causing a social issue of maybe not being able to be with other peers or do things that was important. It might be environmental. So we don't have an off and on switch, but we can revise our program, what we are learning, what we have within us. We can renew and we can change from whatever no longer serves us a purpose. In other words, we may be carrying programming in ourselves from when we were born that weren't even ours. We can be having a program as we growing up. We don't, as a child, and you created a blockage as an adult, and these programs can be released. So, humans are energy and humans are matter. The body produces chemical, mechanical, electrical, and thermal energy. And today I'm just throwing that out there because there's no way I can cover all of it. But it's requiring really a multi-level, multi-dimensional, holistic approach. And I work with leaders and coaching the whole being, the whole human being, or the whole company on 7 levels of energy. And it's about change as energy transforms. It's physics, so we can do that. What is the side effect of doing that? Well, happier integration of life and work purpose. And you can be a catalyst for positive change. And there is many approaches. I will have a list of tips at the end. But the importance of the awareness of the conscious awareness of the internal and the external influences that affect life. So the energy thoughts and actions, negative or positive, emits frequencies and attracts what manifests in life. It's science. So if your thoughts are negative, you cannot hide for too long because you're emitting that energies. That's what it really boils down to it. And if you're happy, you're attracting people, and people come to you because you're happy. And there's an example. I mean, there are many examples, but a very Dr. Miko in Japan he put under the microscope, for example, the water. And the minute that he focused and his thoughts on the water, when it was positive and went to the microscope, they look like organized snowflakes, even flower of life, for those who know what it is. But when he emitted or had somebody else putting that negative energy in the water and was examined, the water was totally in disarrangement, totally in disarray, a huge. So many studies have been done with plants just emitting energy to plants. Imagine what it does to the humans. So I wanted to, most people know about what Albert Einstein said and Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla. But recently in Israel, the physicists did a study saying that it is quite a mystery, since it seems that our conscious experience cannot arise from the brain and in fact cannot arise from any physical process. So if the brain, the mental, is not there, and this was published in Neuroscience News, it's also about the heart connection to the brain. Nikola Tesla said the day science begins to study the non-physical phenomena, it will be more progress in one decade than all previous centuries of existence. So I have many of those quotes, and that led me to really start digging more and more, especially Leonardo da Vinci, because he said, "Il corpo è una macchina perfetta." Our bodies is a perfect machine. So I want to share with you some of the tools that we can use to integrate life and work. And when we get to the energy index assessment, I like to speak a little bit about that, because that's something that I've been working with for years. And so the tips and tools is, number one, know and focus on your values. Prioritize what is important. Know your passion, your mission and vision. You got to know your work-life policies of the people you're going to work for. Have a mentor at work. Cultivate friendship. Have personal family and friends communication, not just texting or on a group chat. Take yearly inventory of your life. Know when to say yes or no, set boundaries, practice gratefulness, find humor, count blessings. But what can we use to make the integration of life and work? Meditation, breathing techniques, centering exercises, conscious decision development mindset, tapping, emotional intelligence, positive intelligence, 7 letters of energy leadership, Eli energy index assessments, and we're going to talk about that. Explore spirituality, time management, strategic growth, plan of action, use SMART, grow, happiness, work with a coach, work with a mentor. So the advantage of using the energy assessment, and as Forbes mentioned, we were one of the 10 assessments that really made a difference, because it's not psychological, it's not behavioral, it's attitudinal. It measures the attitude and the energy that you show up today. So let's say I have a client. I normally wait into the second session, and they know what it is before coming. And I suggest if they are ready to take the Eli test, the Energy Leadership Index assessment. It's not a test. It's easy, but it's so intrinsically engineered, I might say, that it brings out many things, 70 or 80 things that you really didn't even see about yourself. But most important, it determines what level of energy you are operating in. You may, in that results, and during the debrief of that assessment, it already moves the client towards the goal at a much greater speed, because the client is seeing themselves exactly things that, number one, they didn't have an awareness of. For example, if somebody's, it's levels from 1 to 7. If somebody's normally level 6, but it's spending 40% of the time on the victim mode, which is the catabolic level of victim, it indicates the amount of stress that this person is facing. That's not part of who the person actually is in the basic, what it's inside of the person, but it's about how much stress he's staying and living with. So, does anybody have any questions? Help me to follow the group. Anything in the chat, Nada?
My question about how, because I work in the same line of you, with energy, how we can introduce these concepts to the regular people who are now on this path of, energy and integration of the spiritual life.
Well, I actually don't have to use the word spiritual if that comes up. We use the consciousness development, because when I coach, I bring up the fact that there is a greater source of power, of universal energy around us. It's science. It's not about religion. It's not about anything else. But even people that do not believe in God, and there are many, obviously, it's not about that. It's about understanding the science of energy and what does energy do. So if you want to see an incredible display of corporate energy leadership, Bruce Schneider wrote a book of the energy leadership. And it's, if I have it here, I'll show you the cover. I always like to see the cover because it helps I'm visual, but I don't think I have it here. I have it on my library. But it's Bruce Schneider, and it's an amazing flow of fluidity, not only between the leaders, but between the teams and the groups, and the ability to have an opening of a consciousness. So just by asking about values and understanding what the passion is, it's opening a way of higher consciousness, in a sense. And by peeling the onions, as we say, and people that never wanted it. I remember years ago, before I became a coach, I was teaching meditation 30 years ago, 25 years ago. You couldn't say meditation in the workplace. Okay. So it's an amazing thing what 30 years of movement in the right, how can I say, movement to a higher conscious awareness is taking the world. That's why I think that we all are CEOs within our lives, right? We are the chief, right? Within we make our own decisions. And the same way, treating a whole person as the CEO of his or her life, and especially in the corporate world, each one is a leader of what they are doing, but recognize, give them the power to step into their power. And when Eli assessments are done, it's like an amazing haha moment for a lot of people. It says, oh my God, I got to get out of this victim mode. I got to go back to spending more time energizing that which is important, my mission, my family, whatever it is. So does that make any sense? Yes.
Yeah, that's the terminology to use in order to get upset, you know.
Yeah. For example, something that I use personally is conscious decision making.
Okay.
Oh, conscious decision making. Okay. So let's go that route, because when you have ability to have a great awareness, then you can step into a higher, mental play, and you play with that. You play with the thoughts.
Thank you.
Let me see if, I just want to show this because I think this is important. This is the energies that I mentioned before. Imagine, and I'm going to throw that out because I'm working on a whole model process on energy and using our inner body and our inner power of activating 37 trillion cells. Cells carry our program. Hey, we can work with that. We can work with that energy. We can work with the brain. We can work with the heart. So that's something to consider, the power of energizing and the power of integrating what we have to make life and work as one, because there's really no separation. That's the point. There was never a separation between work and life, because you cannot leave your work by leaving your life at another side. How many of you can do that? Can you leave your brain out of your heart? Can you leave your pain outside of the door when you walk into your office? You can mask it, you can hide it, you can endure it, right? So, wow, any questions? If anybody wants any more information or part of it, I'm just putting up that slide, which I did not delete, but you can contact me, send me an email. And if anybody likes to talk about anything or questions and things that I know I left a lot of things out, but I'm so concerned with time. But I just wanted to add one more thing. The Energy Leadership Index assessment, what it does, the results is, it really expand your knowledge of your energy. There is a tremendous shift of consciousness. It alters your attitude and perspective to create that change that you want to create. And it speeds up the client's process tremendously with that understanding. Anybody have any questions? I hope that, yes.
Is possible I talk in Spanish, please? You translate?
Yes, we have a lot of
Yes.
people that can translate.
Okay, thank you very much. Tengo 3 puntos para preguntarte, pero lo primero me viene el ejemplo del doctor Emoto. Quizás lo conoces, que es el
Sí.
doctor exacto. Creo que es una manera de graficar maravillosamente realmente qué sucede con este 60 o 70%, 80% en la cabeza de agua, con los cristales, y eso somos nosotros, somos energía. No sé si alguien más conoce eso, pero venía en relación a tu presentación. Creo que es maravilloso el poderlo compartir, la experiencia de un científico japonés que ya no está, pero que dejó un gran precedente con los cristales de agua.
Her question is for those who understood more than I did, fast enough. She's bringing up Dr. Emoto, the one that I mentioned of the water and the research that he did that opened up an incredible awareness, a new conscious
Yes.
awareness of the fluidity of our powers. And can we imagine the ability to fry something just with your looks, or to alter the formation of the water cells just by thought?
Yes. Y eso se puede traducir en el ambiente laboral o el ambiente social. Si estamos en un ambiente social, laboral, familiar, ¿cómo nos va a afectar nuestros cristales de agua, nuestra luz y nuestra energía?
That's perfect. That's correct. Can somebody translate too? She's saying that can be transposed to every one of the influencers, and is right. The same way that we can transpose our stress. And I bring stress because that's what is causing so much problem and so much issues in the world. But the stress can be spiritual, can be family, can be environmental, can be cultural. You may be working in a country that, you know, you do things and they don't understand you.
Yes, all time.
Right. So culture is very important, environmental. Not
Yes.
many coaches addresses all these issues. And that's a very important aspect, I believe, to integrate not only the life and work, but integrate the world. Because once we apply the thought process and the tools that we can use, then we can start to move from the greed, from the disconnect, from disorganization, because it does take a plan of action. No matter what you're doing, you are using strategy, you are using a plan of action, you're using a smart system, accountability, because the moment that you coaching someone and making them the leader of their own life and responsible for achieving, you're just facilitating, and you're coming with greater expansion of the mind, heart, and thought connection.
Yes.
We only have 1 minute left. I don't want to just cause any rush, but I honor my next colleague. So, any other, please, questions?
Tenía otra pregunta, Suely. Tú haces esos 18 puntos, comienzas a enseñar también a meditar, a técnicas de respiración, a tapping, por ejemplo. Haces todos esos dependiendo de la persona, pero lo enseñas la práctica en sí, Suely?
Yes, every item that I listed here,
Okay.
I use as needed, as clients may need. Yes, tapping. I teach people before they go to a presentation. I had to do that today because I was nervous. I wasn't in at the time.
Yes.
So I started doing, let me close this.
No, I
so
know.
can, let me close
Yes.
this so I can see this. So I can
Okay.
stop sharing this. Okay, no. Okay, so how do I stop sharing? Oh, stop sharing.
On the top.
Okay.
Ahí.
Oh,
yes,
I found. So now I can see everybody. Yes, I will use, as I used to myself, when I used to go to corporate, I was the only woman in dealing with 30 Japanese. Okay. And I'm sitting there under the table. I'm doing what they call energy medicine, which I didn't even list there, but it's about pressure points that releases your central nerve system and changes your physiological. If you're high blood pressure, start tapping your wrist. Under here, over here. So over here, the tapping, if you can do this while you're in front of somebody, you can do it under the table on your wrists. And you start changing your high blood pressure, and if your physiology changes. The reason I did a long release of the breath is because when you take the in-breath and you hold, you actually are bringing a lot of things that you want to get rid of. And when you extend the exhaling breath, you are activating your own self body for renewal. But it has to be much longer, and exhale as much as you can, almost when you're falling off. And
Y el pH, el pH del cuerpo también cambia con la respiración.
right, and the pH,
Yes.
the pH of the body changes.
Mhm.
And you also I teach people how to breathe from the gut to even people that don't know, I never did that. I had a CEO do that. He said, what do you mean put my hand? I said, yeah, that's called solar plexus. Put it there. Do you know how to breathe in? He says, how do you mean? I says, did you ever sing opera? So he started laughing and he said, no. I said, then do like the opera singers. Go, put your belly out, put your belly in, and start breathing. And 2 minutes in, after that, he says, I have never experienced anything like this. I feel great. So we have to use our creativity also to reach things that people never heard about. And that's part of, yes, I can go down the list, and I can, I do energy medicine exercises. I can show people how to distress beforehand. And so everything is connected because we are energy. We can change how we feel, our pain level as well. We can change so much through our own power and energy, bringing a lot of healing in different areas. Hey, I said the word healing.
Thank you very much. Compartir una experiencia también, la Kundalini que nosotros tenemos adentro, eso también es energía propia de nosotros mismos, desde la conexión del cielo y la tierra, que también la podemos trabajar y también da mucha energía, más allá de la energía del sol, de los alimentos y demás. También hay una energía que viene de la Kundalini que también se puede trabajar fuertemente y te da mucha vigorosidad, mucha energía, mucha claridad.
Energizing through the release of
Muchísimas gracias.
Kundalini. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. She was saying that there is another source of energy that can be activated. Thank you. I hope everybody understood, but it was about that. It's time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Thank you for
very
being here.
much. Thank you very much.